Okay, so we're learning about Hilchos Rosh Hashana. Okay, we're learning about Rosh Hashana. Aleph, let's start with the first sif. B'chal HaKadeshim Chavtas. No, you got the right one. You're there. Here. Okay. B'chal HaKadeshim She'emim Rosh Hashana Yom Kippurim. From all the Kadeshim, when we say from Rosh Hashana until Yom Kippur, Kaiflim Teves Leila, we repeat the word Leila. Leila Makar Chasa, we say Leila, Leila. She'emim Leila, Leila, Lei Bevav Uleila. We say Leila, Leila, not Leila, Uleila. But in Alter Rebbe's Siddur, he actually says Leila, Uleila, and the minig of Chabad is to say it only during the Ilah, like Kadeshim of the Ilah. So really the whole Seres Mitzvah say regular, but when it comes to Nila, then you say Leila, Uleila.
So wait, that's minig Chabad or the minig of the whole
No, the minig over here.
Of Nila.
No. Over here it says that every single Kaddish from the whole Seres Mitzvah, they say Leila, Leila.
Without the vav.
Even without a vav, and we say it the whole Seres Mitzvah.
Yeah.
Is there ever a reason why they don't say it? I mean, it's just besides it's an impact?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know why there's a difference in the minig.
You don't know what it's like.
Maybe it's a question that he cares to, that's all. It's a question what was the correct answer.
Everyone looks at you like you're
What does the Velt do? Maybe you could tell me. Do you know what the Velt says about Kaddish? No, but what do the pile they do in the Siddur over there? What does it say by Seres Mitzvah?
Here?
What? With the Vav. And the whole Seres Mitzvah. Okay, so the Kiddush Chanarach said Leila, Leila. It doesn't say Leila, Leila. They say that the whole Velt says it. They bracket it. Okay, so some people say with a Velt, some people say without a Velt. What? How does
some say it, some not. I don't know if they. I don't remember.
I don't know. Yeah, it's different customs about it, so we should know. Yeah.
With the Velt.
With the Velt, yeah.
But you're saying the minig Chabad
is not the same. Only in Neila.
In Neila.
Only
so
that's
Neila. Interesting.
Yeah. So maybe this is maybe this has to do with what you're asking. You're asking why Chabad they don't say it. Maybe this is the reason. It says it's supposed to be 28 tevis, 28 words. We say Leila min kol berchasa. He's higher, that Hashem is higher than all brachas. Instead of saying min kol berchasa, from all berchasa, we say we take out the nun, we add the mem to the kol, and we say mi kol berchasa. Yeah, is that the minig? Yeah. I think Chabad we still say min kol berchasa. We don't change that. We just say leila uleila.
The own word.
Yeah, the own word. But different minhagim. It says about minhagim. It says nara pashte. It's like a river. A river flows and different streams come out from the river.
And minhag of ledin anyway.
Yeah, that's the way it is. Many different streams come out of the same river. That's what it says. Fine. Base. Yesh neyagim hispalul b'Rosh Hashana b'Yom Kippurim. Some people have a custom to daven Rosh Hashana and Kippur. Kol tefillah shmonesrei. The whole tefillah of Shmonesrei b'kriya or b'krifas hareish. That they bend down.
What do we bend down?
Like they're a little bent over.
The whole
like they're bowing.
The whole Shmonesrei?
The whole Shmonesrei.
You mean they have hachna for HaKadosh Baruch?
Yeah. Special extra hachna.
Rosh Hashana and Kippur. Okay, but that's not a Seres Mitzvah like the first paragraph.
No, it doesn't say Seres Mitzvah. Rosh Hashana and Kippur. Now the Alter Rebbe doesn't mention this. V'amnon kevan shetzrichim l'chreya b'birchas magen Avraham. Since we need to bow, we need to bend when it comes to magen Avraham. U'b'meidim etchilu b'seif. And meidim in the beginning and the end. Right, meidim, we bow for meidim, and when we say Baruch Atah Hashem Akel Eidais, we also we also bend and we bow our head. Therefore, before we reach these times, we're going to bow down. So we need to stand up straight, because this way we should do it like Chazal say when it comes to those times. Also, if we're not allowed to, in the beginning of any random bracha and the end of any random bracha, we're not allowed to bow down, because when we're going to like adding to what Chazal instituted. Chazal were masakin only to do it those 4 times. We can't add to also those times. We also have to be zeker. And he says with Tevisa, the Kishish Knecht says better the spalo be bottom skufim. Says daven, you could stand up straight. But the lave kafah, but the heart should be like submissive and bent and a broken heart, basically, a more humbled heart. It's not all about. It's not, he says rather than getting into problems of having to bend down.
I know, like some Litvites on Rosh Hashana and Kippur, they cry excessively when they're davening. Is that something that Lubavitchers do because of the holiness of Rosh Hashana and Kippur? Is it good to cry more?
It says over here with the Ma'is that the person should is also crying. That's what he says over here also. The only thing is like this. In Chabad, they're allergic to things which are sort of put on. They don't like when you put on something.
Yeah.
You can't put on crying. You can't say that over here you need to cry. Huh? Crocodile tears. We're very allergic to that.
Yeah.
So it says in Arizal says Kol mi shenebecha b'aseres mitzvah. He says ein nishmas shleima. Says such a thing.
Yeah.
It's anyone who doesn't cry. So the mitzvah says the neshama is not complete. Alter Rebbe explains really that the neshama is, if he becomes one with Hashem and he has and could be tears of simcha also. Akapanim, but there's no such thing to try to cry. The point is that we should think. Chabad is very into thinking. Chabad, right? It's benus. You should think about who you're davening in front of. You should think about more concentration about the words. It's benus. You should think about the greatness of Hashem and how we're accepting the Eibusher as the Melech. That's Rosh Hashana. It's a big. And that's many times with Simcha also. It could be the Simcha when you're crowning a king.
So
but it's a serious day.
When you say it should be like your heart is broken.
It doesn't have to mean like you're depressed.
No.
It just means that a person should be humbled in front of Hashem.
Right.
A person should feel in front
there's
of
something
Hashem.
about Rosh Hashana and Kippur that makes you feel the awesomeness.
Yeah.
More so than the rest.
Hashem, we feel has Hashem's. There is this idea of it's a day of judgment.
Yeah.
Which that's I think the big thing in the Welt. That's the big thing that it's the day of judgment, and therefore we cry and we do tshuva, right? So in addition to that, there's a big stress in Chabad on more on the fact that the Eibishter is the Melech, for Rosh Hashana specifically, more than Yom Kippur. That the Eibishter, we're making the Eibishter as a Melech. And so it's an interesting thing that in Rosh Hashana we don't mention Videi. We don't say Videi. Only Yom Kippur. Rosh Hashana we don't say. Because the thing is about Melech. HaMelech HaKadosh, HaMelech HaMelech, HaMelech, with the whole thing we say...
is it a concept that you joyfully crown Hashem?
There is such a concept, yeah, of Simcha. But it's a serious Simcha. It's a serious Simcha. It's not a... We're not... It's like a soldier. We're not having a good time and bringing him, saying it's a serious Simcha.
There's there's different things about this and the different svarim and everything. For instance, in Shulchan Aruch, Rosh Hashana is also called Yom HaBechiyah. There's brought a minute that it's permitted, I don't know anyone does it, it's permitted to fast on Rosh Hashana.
Yeah, Rosh Hashana, there's such a... Yeah.
Thank you. Because the Shulchan Aruch says it's called Yom HaBechiyah. Sometimes you have different... Rabbi Salanta, he weighed in on it. He said that, there's different...
all true things.
I just want to say one thing. I don't know if it's relevant to learning halach on this, but I'm the youngest. We should all have the line and my sister and brother are 13 years older than me. And at this, I don't remember when I was like 15 years ago, we were once sitting around and with their husband, the stuff. And my sister said, the older one said, that they remember when they were kids, more people, grown-up people in shul were crying on Yom Ne'Ram.
Right.
And we were talking about it and why. And so my brother-in-law said because that was like maybe the dar that had, let's say, left Shmir Shabbos, and they were in shul, and so they were crying, you know. And now that people are more from, you don't see so many people crying. So I don't know. It's But I'll call problem.
There's nothing wrong with crying. No, we're saying there's nothing wrong with crying.
Yeah.
People cry, and people saying that about it's a natural crime.
Just turning it off and on.
Definitely.
A person shouldn't make with his forehead and like.
Who would do that? That's nonsense.
Did the Rebbe cry?
I don't remember.
You know what it is. At some point,
the Rebbe cried Rosh Hashana. The Rebbe cry very famous is by Tkiyas. By Tkiyas.
By Tkiyas.
By Haftarah of Chana. By the Haftarah of Chana, the Rebbe always used to cry. Haftarah of Chana. And also by, you remember Tkiyas,
sure,
Rebbe?
I heard it.
He could tell you. I wasn't there, he could tell you. They want to know if the Rebbe cried on Rosh Hashana.
Oh. You hear this crying, you start crying.
He did.
He said, especially by the Tkiyas, no?
But the broch is even a meitzah.
Yeah, meitzah, huh?
So sometimes when you put the talis over the pidyonis, and you hear the cry.
I was never close enough to hear.
You were there, you're saying right close enough. You were being pushed around over there. Okay, Akapana, let's learn a little bit, yeah? So,
which page?
We're Kuf Chaf Tes, the Simon Kuf Chaf Tes. You have the same thing, it's 273. Okay, so Masha Negel Nispal Bakilram, so it's in the middle of the Sifra there. Masha Negel Nispal Bakilram Yesh Levati. Some people they daven louder. Ki Yesh Nispal Balachish Mei B'chol Hashani. You should daven quieter, like just like the whole year. Some people say you're allowed to be a little louder, speak a little. You know, we learn out of davening saying Shemona Esrei quietly from Chana. You're mentioning Tfilas Chana. Tfilas Chana was quiet. Chana, when she prayed in a quiet tone. That's why Shemona Esrei.
But she was moving her lips.
It looked like she was moving her lips.
Eli thought she was drunk.
Yeah, exactly. Good. So that's where we learn out that it should be quiet. So, but on Hashana and Kippur, some people say it's okay to be a little bit louder because everyone's doing a little louder because in order to have more concentration, because of the day we want to have more concentration, a little bit louder. But here they bring that the Alter Rebbe writes that it's a little better to do it quieter if you're able to have concentration, but obviously if you want to say a little bit louder to have a little more, as long as you're not disturbing other people, it's fine. Okay. You should be careful to be medactic in every tefillah. Very careful that every nekuda, the way it says, the famous example is, shouldn't change it. For example, l'chaim, we say l'chaim for life, that we're asking Hashem l'chaim, zechreinu l'chaim, you should remember it's for life. It shouldn't say l'chaim, because l'chaim could sound like loichaim, chas v'shalom. So you don't want to say that, and we have to be very careful, because everything's very...
What was that last phrase?
Loichaim means no life, chas v'shalom, right? So Rosh Hashana...
low,
right,
I'm sorry.
Right, Rosh Hashana...
My Hebrew's bad.
No problem. So Rosh Hashana is we have to be more careful. Every word that we make, we know when it comes to the meal, we make different signs. We do different signs to remember good things. Everything we say is very important. So we should be a little more careful about how we say the words. So we say l'chaim. Make sure you have a good machzer, that you're able to see the words clearly. Gimel. Kol Hashana Eimnim Mitfila Hakel HaKadosh. The whole entire year we say during davening Hakel HaKadosh in the third bracha. Baruch Atah Hashem Hakel HaKadosh. Melech Eyestaka Mishpat. In Hashiva Sheftenu we finish off Baruch Atah Hashem Melech Eyestaka Mishpat. Chutz min Rosh Hashana La'achim Mekippurim Shesrichim Leimen HaMelech HaKadosh. Instead of Hakel HaKadosh we say HaMelech HaKadosh. Our holy king HaMelech HaMishpat.
We learned this yesterday with Yubara.
Really? What?
No, not this. Not Mekitz.
Yeah. Because in these days the Eibusha shows his malchus to judge the world. He shows himself as a king to judge the world. So that's why we say Hamelach HaMishpat, the king who judges. If you made a mistake and you said Hakel HaKadosh instead of Hamelach HaKadosh, if you have a suffix Imam Hakel HaKadosh Hamelach HaKadosh, if you said it or not. So I saw the Mishnah Bruder brings that if you had in mind to say Hamelach HaKadosh beforehand, right? You heard they said Hamelach, you had in mind. And after Shemona Esrei, you didn't have any suffix, you didn't think about it. A while later, you're like, did I say Hamelach HaKadosh? He says, you don't have to go back. You know, it happens. It happens to me also. Sometimes, you get a little bit too worried. Did I say Hamelach HaKadosh? Did I say that? So if you thought about it right after Shemona Esrei and at a suffix, did I say Hamelach HaKadosh? I said Akel HaKadosh. So then you have to go over again. But if you didn't, then if you didn't have that suffix until later and you thought about it before Shemona Esrei, you knew you thought about it before, so then it's okay, you don't have to go over.
So what would that be the svara for that? In general, we say that if you didn't have regilas like with the same what was it, the same halumata, you need 90 times or whatever, right? It's over here
you thought about it beforehand, and you also didn't have a suffix right away. You only have a suffix later.
So he's saying that's a svara.
Yeah. That
probably you said it. Yeah. So you shouldn't. In other words, the suffix would be stronger the other way.
Yeah.
Suffix profes lahakol.
Yeah.
Okay.
But before we finish Shemona Esrei, if you said Akel HaKadosh, even Niska Teichet Dibur, if you remember Teichet Dibur, which is the amount of saying Shalom Aleichem Rabbi, remember that amount. You say Baruch Atah Hashem Akel HaKadosh. You remember right then. You could change right away Hamelach HaKadosh, and you're good to go. Aimer Hamelach HaKadosh, means that last validation, you don't need to go back. Chein Adim Hamelach HaMishpat Soto Hamelach
Go
HaMishpat.
back to the beginning of the bracha, or go back to the
beginning of Shemona Esrei. Yeah. Chein Adim Hamelach HaMishpat Soto by Hamelach HaMishpat, the same thing also. If you remember right away.
But you don't have to repeat for Hamelach HaMishpat.
Hamelach HaMishpat you don't have to, right?
Because you use the word Hamelach, it's what it is.
Right. But if you didn't remember until after you already said Shalom Aleichem Rabbi. So, and this, not talking, if you started the next bracha, even if it's still in the amount of Shalom Aleichem Rabbi, it's still, you still have to go back. Because if you started the next bracha, it's already too late.
What do you think for the first bracha?
Let's say you said Akel HaKadosh, and you right away started the next bracha. Ata Chenem. Just said Ata. Even if you didn't wait for a amount of Shalom Aleichem Rabbi, so you have to go back, because you started the next bracha.
You can't say Lamdenu Chukecha.
Come back to the beginning.
Is it Shalom Aleichem?
You can't say Lamdenu Chukecha?
First of all, it's Ata Chenem. You didn't say no Baruch Ata here.
It's Shemona Esrei.
It's just you said Ata, okay, you already started the next thing, so you have to go back. Which means it showed you're finished with the Akel HaKadosh, and you're moving on, so you made a mistake.
I'm just checking. Is Shalom Aleichem Rabbi or Shalom Aleichem Rabbi Umayri? The Shia.
I think I remember Shalom Aleichem Rabbi.
Rabbi?
Could be there's other
Alright,
okay. So if it's a Melech HaKadosh, so you need to go back to the Reish HaTfilah. Afilu Misveika, like we said, even if you have a doubt, also you need to go back. Why? Because the first, why you have to go all the way back? Why can't you go back to the first bracha, like you asked? That's because the first three brachas are considered like one bracha. They're all praising the Eibusher, all considered like one bracha. Even if the chazan is repeating it, so he already said Shemona Esrei the way it's supposed to be. But now he's saying over the tefillah, and he said Akel HaKadosh, and he's so quick before anyone's able to fix him. He's already up to Ata Chenem. Let's start again. Even though the Tircha de Tzibura, you still have to go again.
But it's Chazara. You already said tefillah. So why is it go back?
Because he's not doing the tikkun for the tzibur the way he's supposed to be.
What Chazara?
Chazarat Hashatz.
What Chazarat Hashatz? Years ago,
they
do Chazarat Hashatz for the people coming from the field.
Right.
Today,
but once we're massacring, we do it still.
Right here. So.
But we still make Chazarat Hashatz even though everyone davens, right?
Yeah, I think they have to be more mekel.
But I think the opposite is true. If, let's say, the Chazan, when his private tefillah, he said Akel HaKadosh, then he can rely on his tefillah b'tzibur. Doesn't have to go back on his own thing. That he could. And more than that, he says, he has to say Kedusha a second time. Everyone starts again. Keflayim is a Shia, get double. Avol b'hamelach hamishpat, that's by Hamelach HaKadosh. But by Hamelach hamishpat, Afilo Yachid in Tzarech Lachser, even a Yachid, a regular, not the Chazan, doesn't need to go back. Afilo Leis a bracha, even for that bracha, he doesn't even need to go back to a Shiva. Kevan Shiske Tevis Melech, like he said, because he already mentioned the Tevis Melech Bracha Zis. Now over here, he doesn't say anything else, but the Alter Rebbe says that it's good, Toiv, it's good to daven another tefillah as an adava. He doesn't say you have to, but he says it's good. I guess if you're able to, if you're not in a rush, you should daven another tefillah like an adava. Which means, we don't know, because there's two opinions if you have to go back for a melech mishpat, right? Since Savik Brach Lahako, so therefore, we're not going to go over. But if you're saying another tefillah in the dava, so you can say, oh, I'm saying it as dava. A person's always allowed to daven another shmona esrei for a dava. A person usually has to add something then when he does it, but over here he doesn't have to add anything. But because in order to be yetzi, you could do it over to be yetzi the other shitta, which holds that you should go back.
No, Nedava has to be the same Shmona Esrei. Shachrit to do Mincha, Mincha to do Mariv.
They're all three. What do you mean? They're always the same shmona esrei. What do you mean?
I know.
I'm not familiar with this concept in the Dava. I mean, you're not supposed. I always thought you're not supposed to add on, but and the Dava is here because it's a suffix. Whether well, you said. Are you saying it's a suffix if you said?
No. You said Hamalach Hakadosh, that for sure, and you said Melech Oyev Staka Mishpat, and you didn't say Hamalach Hamishpat. So there's a machlekes. There's a dispute if you have to repeat Shmona Esrei if you said Hamalach Oyev Staka Mishpat, and instead of Hamelach HaMishpat.
So there is a
word Hamelach. So there's a machlekes if you have to go back since you said the word Hamelach already.
Okay.
So that since the rule is that whenever we have a doubt concerning brachas, we say lahaka, we don't repeat it because you don't want to make a bracha lavatala. So therefore we don't repeat Shmona Esrei. We don't have to repeat Shmona Esrei. But if you want to repeat Shmona Esrei as an adava, as you're just saying you want to daven extra, not because you're mechuyev to do it. It's because you're bringing like you could bring extra carbon.
Mm-hmm.
So then you could repeat it, and through that you'll gain that you're also the opinion which says you should go back.
Oh.
He says it's good to do that.
This is for the Hamelach HaMishpat.
Melech HaMishpat, right?
Okay.
Hamelach HaKadosh you always have to go back. Everyone agrees because he didn't say Hamelach.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, Dalit.
I told the body yesterday that if you daven in the city, it could happen this problem. Today with the technology, if you daven with the telephone, you for sure don't have this mistake.
Unless not always you're always focusing on sometimes you know it by heart already. So you're saying that a gilus.
You look inside it pop up.
If I saying it like big.
Yeah.
But Yom Tov you cannot.
Nothing after Rosh Hashana, yeah.
The Yom Tov Shabbos form.
I mean,
I want to tell you something about Rosh Hashana also.
Pre-screened.
You mentioned Rosh Hashana. So the Mishnah Berurah.
You say you have a special mavzor and everything inside.
It's special max, right?
So for sure you don't make mistakes.
I want to tell you something about Rosh Hashana. That Rosh Hashana, the way it works is if you say, let's say you're davening in the max, you're davening the max. And now, the way it works is the At Kaddish. You say At Kaddish Shimcha Kaddish, Deishim Chayim Avuchasala. Then you go.
You don't finish the bracha.
You don't finish the bracha right away.
Okay, there's a lot of.
David did Hamlichu Akel Yulevad Karim, and then you go. If geen team pacht the phone, Hashem Lekena, you still not. You go on and on and on, and then at the end you say Baruch Hashem Melech HaKadosh, right? What happens
If right there,
if you said over there Hamelech HaKadosh? Hamelech HaKadosh, not a Kelach. You say Hamelech HaKadosh. What happens, right? Because this is not going to happen at the beginning of Rosh Hashana because you're not used to saying Hamelech HaKadosh. But this could happen in Yom Kippur more.
like
So Yom Kippur, a whole says Mitzvah saying Hamelech HaKadosh.
go back.
If you say Akel HaKadosh, then you have to go back anyhow, right? But if you say Hamelech HaKadosh, because you're used to saying the whole Seres Mitzvah, so then you just go continue. You just skip everything. Wherever you
Because
don't
you already said the Melech
Yeah.
so many times in the middle.
you just skip the entire back of the
Yeah.
this whole thing you skip and you
already
continue.
so much about this.
Yeah.
And you continue. Okay, so the end of Gimel, this last thing.
So wait, so, in other words, if you said Hamelech HaKadosh, then you should skip the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
You just continue.
And continue
Yeah.
to the next bracha.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's saying the whole year, if you say Hamelach HaKadosh, it's the opposite. Usually where the problem is that we're saying by mistake Hakel HaKadosh during the Aseret Shuvah. But let's say Matzah Yom Kippur, you start davening Maida for Matzah Yom Kippur, and you're so used to saying the past few days, you're saying Hamelach HaKadosh.
Continue.
You continue.
Yeah.
So you have to go back? Say no, you're good. You don't have to go back.
Because he's really a Melech HaKadosh.
Yeah, he's really Hamelach
Not saying
HaKadosh.
something.
Oh, so really? Okay.
Okay, Dalet. The Shabbos Arvis, the Birchas Mein Shava, Maginavis, right after Shmonasrei by Kabbalah Shabbos after Ma'ariv, we say Maginavis. Mein Shava is called Maginavis Advarei. So Eimin Gamkin Memakam Hakel HaKadosh Hamelach HaKadosh. You see in the Siddur it says Hamelach HaKadosh. Hamelach HaKadosh in Kamayu. Right? So they say Hamelach HaKadosh. V'imta Shas Omer Hakel HaKadosh. Over here, if the Chazan made a mistake, he said Hakel HaKadosh. Even if Kamiyat take a deep breath, if you remember right away, so he should fix himself. He says Hamelach HaKadosh. Aval Achakach Eini Chazer. But afterwards, you don't go back. I think the meaning is that even that as long as you didn't finish the bracha. Okay, hey. Im Shachach Zachreno. Now remember, during Aseret Shuvah in the Siddur, we add many additions. Besides Hamelach HaKadosh and Hamelach HaMishpat, we also add different things. We add in Shmonasrei. We say Zechreinu L'chaim,
Zechreinu,
Mikamocha, right? Yeah, so we add all these different things. If we forgot, let's say you forgot to add it. You only remembered after you say Baruch Ata Hashem. So what do you do? Hashem, once you say Baruch Ata Hashem, so you continue on. You say Baruch Ata Hashem, that's it. You missed it. Continue on.
It's like Yalav Yavo at night.
Yalav Yavo at night, right.
It depends where he said Baruch Ata Hashem.
After where you're supposed to say it.
Zechreinu, it's in the beginning.
Right, so if you say
Sefer Chaim, it's in the end.
Right. So whenever you say the bracha, which is right after one of those
And then
things,
say
Baruch Ata Hashem, so then you don't go back. Let's say you remembered before you finished before you said the bracha, before you said Baruch Ata Hashem, so then you say it right where you remembered. Okay, so until you say Baruch Ata Hashem, you can still make it up. The moment you say Baruch Ata Hashem from the next Baruch Ata Hashem is coming up from that bracha, so then you just continue.
Make sure you remember the next time you daven to put it.
I'm sorry, he actually brings this halacha which I was just saying before. He says V'cheinim shachar leimer v'chein teipaktecha v'chasam hamelach HaKadosh. If you got to say V'chein sein paktecha, and you said hamelach HaKadosh, actually I was just saying before. I feel like Baruch Ata Hashem, even if you didn't say Baruch, even if you only said Baruch Ata Hashem, Chesa hamelach HaKadosh eimat v'chatana, continue out v'chatana. That's what we just said before. Vav. See, Mashmana say Ish Mesayim Esa Hashalim. Some people say Esa Hashalim, which that's the Mini Chabad. The Ish Eina Mashana Leimin Hamavarach Zameh Yisrael Bashalim. Is that what does the Velt do? They say Hashalim? Hashalim. By Kadeshim Eimrim Esa Hashalim name. But by Kaddish, it says everyone says Hashalim. But Shmonasrei also you say Hashalim? Esa Hashalim by Kaddish? Yeah, I'm asking if you tell me. What does he say? This is Hamelach HaKadosh here, Maganavis. Yeah, Hashalim. Yesh Eno. Yesh Emrim. Shabbos Shuvah Hashalim. Yesh Emrim. Yesh Emrim.
What's the difference between Hashalim and Bishalim?
Hashalim. Oh, it's a good shaila. Why do we say Hashalim?
You say Hashalim.
I don't remember. There is a hezbollah for it.
Bishalim, Hashalim.
Hey, you do. But the Hashalim.
So.
Definite articles.
Good question. I don't remember now. Fine. So we have Zayin. Im Chol Rosh Hashana b'Shabbos, Yesh Mekeim when the Rosh Hashana falls on Shabbos. Yesh not this year. Yesh Mekeim she'emnu l'chun ranino k'mei b'shar Shabbos. They say some people start l'chun ranino like every Shabbos. Yesh Mekeim she'maschil mizmul David. That's the Chabad minig. And what's the Velt do? They start from l'chun ranino. They start Mizasher. They start also, right?
No, there's no. The same start
Mizasher name Shabbos. He said Yesh Mekeim. What?
All the
Chassidim start Mizmul, yeah. Mizmul Ashkenaz starts Mizmul. B'chol makim yachzik and hagav, every place should keep their minig. Okay, ches.
Is that the only yontif it could happen? No, I mean
No, it can happen. Oh, every yom that's the same seder.
That could be. It could be Friday night. You mean?
It could be Friday night.
Could be yontif.
Yeah.
So some people they don't say Kabbalah Shabbos, right? Because
Or they start Mizbah Shir. Yeah.
What?
Mizbah Shir Yom Shabbos.
no, I'm saying that this is from Rosh Hashanah is the same like any yontif.
If it happens
Mizbah David, we always do.
Why?
Friday night. Yeah, Mizbah David, Chabad always do Mizbah David by Yom Tov. Yeah.
we don't say the Lochana.
Okay, ches. After we finish Ma'ariv on the first night, Negim Leimer Kolacha Lachaveri Lashana Teva Tichase V'Sichasum. Or, Lashana Teva Tichase V'Sichasum. And Lekeva, when you're speaking to Nekeva, Tichase Vi V'Sichase Mi. Aval B'Yem in Neimrim, and during the daytime you don't say it. If you shekvar Nigman HaKsiva, the writing was already written, Kedem Chatzes. And bring the Tat Rebbe says that we say it, we could say it until the second day by Chatzos. Ubelil Sheni Yishnegim Lemer Ki Lefamim Nedenim Yim Sheni. And he brings over here that the next night, second night, some people say it because sometimes we judge on the second day. It says, I think in the Kabbalah, it says the first day is Dina Kasha. It's like a hard Din Gvura. Second is Dina Rafia. It's more softer. Okay.
Hardcore and softcore.
Some people say along this of they say the Shana Tava Tekhasim Chasim La'at L'chaim Taivim B'Sifrim Shal Tzadikim B'Muvah.
And a good kvitl.
And what?
And a good kvitl.
Oh, that's a Shana Rabbah.
Oh.
King Kvitl is a Shana Rabbah.
Because they have to first write the Kvittel.
Look
No,
at
they-
Rosh Hashanah night.
And the first said Lamaila, they write it. It comes out. Shminat Shana Rabbah is the Kvittel comes out. That's the. So it's like it's Kvittel.
Pitka Tav.
Tes. The Sudas Halayla, and at the nighttime, the first night of Rosh Hashanah, Negim Lasa Simanim Lashana Tev. We make signs, we eat signs for the right. Tevlim Prusas Hametzi Bedvash. First of all, we dip the Hametzi, the piece of Hametzi in the ash. Achish Achol Kazayis, after we ate a Kazayis, Oymrei Hiratzin Shad Chadash Lein Hashana Tev Masukah. So many have this custom, but in the Rebbe, the cousin Chabad, they don't say it. They only say it by the apple. But the Welt, a lot of people say it by each thing, right? No, they don't. Afterwards, you dip
That's the most popular one.
apple and honey. You make a bracha and you eat it. And afterwards, you make the hiratzim, which we just said before. The minhag Chabad is to do. Interesting is to make a bracha beire priya eitz, and then say the hiratzim before you eat it. Before you eat it. It's not considered a hefsek. That's the chiddush.
Oh, it's not a hefsek.
That's
It's
Chabad
only
minhag?
set
Yeah.
up already priya
You say
eitz.
hiratzim shechadash lein hashana teva, and then afterwards to eat it.
Interesting.
It's a funny thing, right? Because you
What
think.
is it? That's the only thing they do is...
No, we do other things. Saying. I'm saying the only time we say something. We eat as many things as possible. We have certain things we're going to say now. But I'm saying about saying, the only time that we say something by one of the simanim is by the apple. We don't say it by the challah. The neigim lecho reish shel bal chai.
Oh boy.
The minig is to eat the head of an animal.
When we eat the apple, before Amoitzi or after Amoitzi?
We eat it after Hametzi. This is always
Everything is
confusing.
after
No, I'll tell you why it's confusing. Confusing is because the next night they can have a Pri Chadash.
Right.
And Pri Chadash you have before Hametzi.
Right.
Because the Kiddush, you're supposed to have Shachiano, should eat the Pri Chadash right away. That's why it's always confusing.
On the second night.
Right, so the first night, that's the only reason why we have it before Hametzi. But this, every other simon is going to be after Hametzi the first night. So you wash, you dip your challah in vash, and then you take your apple, you dip it in honey, and you make the bracha beir preetz, and then you Say Yiratzin Shachadash Alina Shana Teva Sukkah, and you have your apple. What's next? He says.
Pomegranate you eat the next night, not the first night.
No, the first night. All the Samanim is the first night. Samanim are the first night. Only the Pri Chadash is the second.
Oh, the next night.
The first night is all the Samanim because now's the main writing, so you want to have the Samanim.
So wait, when do you eat the pre chodesh? What do you do?
Pri Chadash is the second night. We'll get to soon.
Oh, okay.
That's the second night.
Okay.
So, so the next simon which we have is we have a head of an animal. So, and the Emrim, and you say Shenil Reish, right? V'lei Lazana, right?
They have a head of a fish. I go to my friend's
Yeah, that's what
house,
most
his
people
wife
have.
Gives me.
That's what most people have. That's what.
You have to eat it. Some people just stick it.
Yeah,
and-
no, little
You don't
little
eat it,
tiny
just
piece.
cut it and
It's symbolical. It's symbolic.
Symbolic.
Just
You
eat a
eat
little
the brain from the
piece.
fish.
What?
You eat the brain from the fish.
Yeah, you,
you can look at the fish like we ate it.
You know.
Yesh lahader acharesh kevis is you should try to find a sheep. Like he says, Shegam kin zeichel eila sheyitzchak should remind us the ram.
Wow.
Al Rebbe I think says to first get a ram. If you can't find the head of a ram, then a sheep, and we or another animal. But I
ram
think
just
most people have the
means,
minute have the head of the fish.
A ram means a zacher. That's all. It's
Yeah,
also
yeah,
a sheep.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
the same min, a
Yeah,
keves,
right.
but it's a
But
zacher.
it's a better zeicher for
Because
the.
Eilai
Yitzchak, yeah.
Okay.
So not only for the reish, for another thing you add on.
Oh, right, that's better. It's Jewish.
Gam eichle meisen hirake sheish lo medina hu shem hamedol teva. If in that country, so even if it's English, right? Whatever that medina, that country, the name, right? So
Yiddish, it take carrots.
right, right. So they, like you know, they see the person was eating celery under the table. So sometimes why eating celery? So he says, what do you mean? Because I want a salary. I want a good salary. But he says, well, why under the table? He says, that's how I get my salary. So. Maybe they say marin in the carrots.
If a young guy wants a date, he said, I'm going to have a date.
So marin is it means to multiply, to more mer. And those are the custom to say it. They say they should have many zchuyas, many merits. They should eat fish, so there's another reason why she eat fish. Why? She should is lifris or libris dogim, we should multiply like fish. The ein lavashal esem mechemetz, and you shouldn't cook them in vinegar. This is the halacha that we don't cook the fish. Generally, we don't use bitter things on Rosh Hashana as an ingredient. We use the vinegar. We don't eat bitter, sour things on Rosh Hashana.
Only sweet,
Chametz
only
is sour.
No spicy food.
Yeah, this is hard for the Sfardim, right? Hard.
No, we have different,
There are
different vegetables.
plenty sugar and honey in food. Plenty.
Yeah, because it's more the Ashkenazim are the sweet things.
But what happens if somebody diabetic? All this sugar stuff.
Right, he doesn't have to eat. Oh, they're saying, yeah, here.
שלא להשתמש בהם.
You can just take a drop. Tap a drop. If he can, he can't. It's not. B'eichlim, b'basar, shem, b'chol minim masika, you eat fatty meat and all different sweet things. Gam negim sh'telachol agezim v'leizim, ki egis b'gematche chet. We said that we don't eat agezim are big nuts, luzim are small nuts. Why? Because eges is the same gematria as chet. Chet is, he doesn't have an aleph over here, right? So ches is 8, tes is 9, 9 plus 8 is 17.
Plus 1.
And eges is aleph is 1, gimel is 3, 1 plus 3 is 4, plus a 6 is vav, right, is 10. And then we have a zayin is 17. And they say, I think it's Shem the Getter Rebbe, it's also, chet is also the gematria chet. Huh? Gematria of Tayv, that's right. Gematria, no, Tayv. Yeah.
Chai. No, Chait is 18. Right? Yeah, right. I'm saying. It's a good simon, you would think. What did he
No,
say?
Chai is with aleph.
Yeah. Chai is spelled
Yeah,
with
so
an
he said that you should know that everyone's very hakacht about the nuts. He says chet is also big gematria chet.
Not just ego.
Yeah. But what's the reason over here? Pashos also marvin kicha v'niyah hamavatlim es tefillah. It adds a saliva, and we need to have a clear mouth to be able to say the words properly. We're saying on davening. V'yesh limud al shulchan Torah. We should say divrei Torah by the table. And we should not as much schmoozing. We should have a little bit more Torah by the table, right? In Chabad the custom is not to speak too much on Rosh Hashanah. Say a lot of Tehillim. But it's good to say Torah also, because it says we're going to say also Kol HaYashim Ba. Whoever is doing nothing is like he's sleeping. So we shouldn't sit doing nothing.
The first day Rosh Hashanah, they stay up. They say the whole film. It's allgemein.
Yeah, there is an Indian to say.
Not only the first night, the whole Rosh Hashanah keep saying.
Say a lot of Tehillim.
I'm saying something else. I'm saying this people, but they don't sleep the first day Rosh Hashanah, and they say Tehillim. They say that.
We don't go to sleep on Rosh Hashanah.
What?
We don't go to sleep in the day on Rosh Hashanah.
The first day.
During the daytime. That's one of the things, right?
Yeah,
One of the things.
I never
We don't
heard
sleep.
about the second.
Because you don't want the matzah to be sleeping.
It's a Kitzur Shekhanah discussed it. I know that there's a minion over here, and I don't want to keep.
But I think it's on the first day. But okay.
I don't want to.
It's all minute.